welcome to my channel again. Good evening, and I remain Fola Shade. Okay, it's Fola actually. I dropped it way before now, but I've had a lot on my plate. At least, at last I want to come out to be able to give testimonies about my journey, and it's just been me trying to make efforts. So, applications here and there, and trying to also hang out with friends. So I trust you guys have been great, and you've been keeping up, and you've been doing a whole lot of good for yourself, as well as I have. Truth be told, I've been enjoying myself, meeting a lot of people, and it's been all fun. Like I titled the video, 3 things I did to avoid frustration on my job. I'm sacked. Sometimes a prophet is not really expected at his own, but trust me, these 3 things are going to work if you apply them. You that you're employed, if you apply them, because I did apply them and it worked for me. Well, truth be told, it worked for me, but it just did not keep my job. So, guys, but then I was able to avoid frustration because of this video. So, back to the matter majorly. The first thing first, number 1 is first impression. You know what, that first impression that I gave my boss on the day I had an interview kind of smoothed out things for me during my time working in that company. I didn't have proud experience on this job role. I made a lot of mistakes, and my boss was able to give room to entertain those mistakes, because I guess that day he saw someone with potentials. He saw a whole lot and felt that, oh, this girl can actually do a whole lot more than these mistakes she's making. And so there were a couple of times he had called me to his office to correct some of the things I did, to even yell at me and say a whole lot of things. But irrespective of it, came from a place of concern and respect for me. And that kind of gave me this peace and satisfaction. So when a whole lot of other people complain about the boss or say some things, I'm like, no, I know the kind of person that I relate with this boss. And I think this stemmed from the first experience, the first impression I gave to him, that this girl is smart, she's intelligent, she's able to maneuver things, she'll be able to maneuver her way through this job. She'll be good at everything or anything, the task I give to her. In the time of making those mistakes, my boss could have looked at me and like, what is all this? But my boss understood, and he kind of already had an impression about me that this girl, you're making these mistakes is because you've not given yourself the energy or the strength or the room, or you've not really harnessed a whole lot of yourself, and it gave me that room to entertain a whole lot of my mistakes. 2, study your contract. Studying your contract helps to avoid frustration in your job. The job I got before my content writing job was a teaching job, and in that process I made this one mistake. So I was supposed to receive my salary, and at the end of the day, what I was supposed to agreed on that I was supposed to do was not what I was going on with, because it was subject to a lot of deductions. And this was I didn't know this until the first salary that I got. How come? And I collected a contract, an employment contract, and signed. I didn't take my time to calm down to study it and ask questions. In that contract, they made it known that deductions were going to be made from my salary, but they did not specify the percentage of these deductions. And so at the end, when I got this salary, I'm like, why would I get this? I was really frustrated. I already saw them as a traitor. I already saw my company then as a traitor. Like, no, we agreed on this amount and this is what I'm receiving. Why are you collecting so much on tasks? Well, it's not their fault, because to be fair to them, they gave me a contract. I failed to study it and to ask questions and to be clear with them, or try to clarify things on how it should be. And so, guys, when I got my content writing job, it took me like maybe 1 or 2 weeks before I returned that contract back to them. Understand what is the net salary, what is the gross salary. If they are saying there's going to be deduction like tax, pension, NHIS, which other one do we have? All this HMO, I don't know how they do it. Whatever deduction they're going to have, let them specify what percentage. So you agreed with them that you're going to be collecting 150, and at the end, what is coming to your account is 100,000. But it's not their fault. They made it known that they're going to deduct something, but you just did not ask what, how, and what percentage, what amount. So if at the end it turns out that it's more than what you bargained for, you really don't end up being happy on that job. You get frustrated. So this is one thing that I did, that I corrected when I was taking up my content writing job. I studied that contract very well. And so when they sent me the mail or the contracts, and they said I should read and understand, and then get back to them if I am comfortable with the terms and conditions of the employment, I asked a lot of questions. My house, I was living in Ikorodu, and my job was supposed to be in Omoli. And so I told them, this salary you're proposing is actually not going to be cool for me. Okay, if you're proposing this salary and you're not ready to add to it, do you have an accommodation you're going to provide for me there? These were not bad. So I asked a whole lot of questions. And it was at that time, guys, listen, I didn't have a laptop that I was going to work with, and I asked them, okay, you want me to work with you? Are you providing the laptop and every other necessary instrument I'm going to use to work? And they said yes. And I said, I went further to ask, so the laptop, who is going to own it? How is it? I said it's a company that owns it, but after 1 year, it becomes yours. And that's it. And so even now, I'm going to go back to something else. Something happened again during my job. In my contract, in our contract, all of us is there that you have 15 days sick leave, 15 days working sick leave, and 1 full month leave with pay. So you can go on leave after working 1 year with them, you can go on leave for 1 full month with pay without working. You don't have to work, but you will be paid for that 1 month. And so earlier this year in February, when I proposed going on leave, taking my leave, I kind of told some of my colleagues, I'm like, no, in the history of the company, you can't get 1 full month leave. They will not give you. In short, if you go on the 1 full month leave and they give you just at once, you will have to work. You will work. You will not work again. I'm like, no, now. What is in this contract is that I can take 1 full month leave without working and get paid for that month, and I'm going to take it. And so I got a lot of discouragement, and people like, no, it does not happen. Someone that's been there like 2 years and like told me that it has never happened. Even if it's going to happen, you will still work. You will go home, you'll be working from home, maybe not at full capacity, and then you get paid. I'm like, no. What I understand by my contract is that I won't work at all during the 1 month, and so I applied for it. And guys, lo and behold, I got my 1 month leave. I did not work for 1 month, and I got paid as it should be. So the thing is, understanding, don't just base it on, this person said, this person has been here 5 years, and this person said it is like this. So let me not go and ask. Don't you have a contract? Is there not an agreement between you and your company? Everybody's agreement might be different, contracts might be different. So understand your own contract. It helps to avoid a lot of frustration. So hearing someone A is saying this, C is saying this, and you are supposed to, and this is what you understand, and like you're confused. No, don't be confused. Understand your contract. It helps to avoid frustration on your job. Jobs will always come with frustration, from time to time. But on the long run, the whole height of I hate this company, I hate how I'm being treated, and all that is wiped off if you do this. 2 things I mentioned, and that brings me to the third one, which is be clear about what you want. So that is why I'm going to go about the whole laptop issue. I knew what I wanted, so you were going to give me a laptop to work with, and I'm like, okay, is this laptop going to be mine eventually? Will I be able to be taking it from the office to the house? Because I don't have a laptop, I don't really have a functional phone, and I'll work outside of the office, hours outside the office. So how will I work? I made a whole lot of things. I needed them to clarify, and I went for explanations, and they clarified. And the agreement was, after 1 year, the laptop becomes yours. I was clear about what I wanted, and I projected. Not like I went to say laptop has to be mine, but because I asked this question, they were able to clarify. A whole lot of people don't ask these questions, and so at the end when they are leaving, the normal thing is that you have to return the laptop and everything back to the company. So, but making this clarification and be clear about what you exactly want kind of helps you a lot. So, guys, it might seem like I actually lost my job, but these 3 things that I did kind of helped me cash out on my company. No, maybe not a big cashing out like that. It wasn't a jackpot, but it was a little win, and guys, I celebrate my little wins. So if you can do these 3 things, I'm pretty sure you find it easy to. Workload can be tedious, can be like we are above the water sometimes, or is that how they put it? I don't know how they put that quote or something. The saying. But sometimes it can be a lot, and I'm not saying it can be a lot. Sometimes you get frustrated by colleagues and some other little things. But to avoid a total long run frustration on your job, try these 3 things. I have tried it. It has worked for me. So maybe you should try it, and let's see if it works for you too. I'm so happy, guys. Thank you for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would like to hear from you the feedback, perhaps if you put these 3 days into practice. See you next time. Bye.